last night with the stuff that she was pulling. God, I just feel bad for anybody around her. As far as the cops giving me my wake up call at 6 o'clock this morning, I think they did, but I'm not sure. I was completely out of it. I had to call Tom and ask him if he tried to wake me up this morning because I seem to think that somebody did. He said, yeah. He didn't say anything about encountering Molly when I just, anyway, I just called him. He's all right. He didn't say anything about running into Molly this morning. I kind of get the feeling if those officers actually took a look at my website, she might actually be in jail right now. We can be so lucky. She's shown herself to be not only highly predatory, but that she wants to push the kind of BS that gets people killed. Not cool. Anyway, I'm going back over to Fred Meyer's. I did have some other plans for this morning, but Tom's in there eating breakfast and invited me to come over, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna get myself a damn coffee. We're hopefully being done bugging him, he might be able to get something done, but I mean, she's been physically abusing an 80-year-old military veteran, so this is something that obviously is going to irk me. My opinion of soldiers is not that high. My opinion of veterans is quite high. But it also depends individually on the veteran. A lot of them guys up in Hood River, yeah, I don't consider them veterans because they don't consider us human beings. If you can't consider a homeless person a human being, yeah, I don't know what the hell you thought you're fighting for or what you think you're doing now, but you're making things worse for everybody. By supporting Nazis, you are not making things better for any of us. And our government can be directly compared to Nazi Germany in the 1930s, primarily the 1930s at this point, but we're advancing. We're just advancing in the wrong direction. As far as Molly goes, I'm hoping that the cops went and talked to her last night and said, hey, you need to knock this shit off. This is no less than 2 men that we have that you're doing this shit to, and really, honestly, there's more than just 2. Alexander came by last night. He was on his bottle. He goes out and he gets those bottles and turns them in. I know what he spends it on, but I also know that he makes a full-time job of it. When he took my bottles, well, at that point, they weren't my bottles anymore. The ones that I stuffed in a bush, I stuffed in a bush. Tom's life was more important than my bottles. The ones that I left at that park, the skate park, same thing. I left those there. Tom's life was worth more than that. Anyway, I'm gonna go in and have coffee with him this morning, and we're gonna formulate our battle plan for the day. I was able to get my heater working last night, which is good. It's been fucking cold. And of course, poor Tom's standing in a vehicle with me. I burp and fart and snore all night. If he gets any sleep, he's the lucky SOB after all. There's an article this morning about two twin girls who fended off their mother's attacker using their toys and a hairdryer. I could see Natalie and Alicia doing that when they were younger. Natalie heard horrible stories about her mom, but the fact is her mom was a victim too. However, it's also a fact that Rose M. Kelly was one of her own daughter's predators. That lady, Molly, she's doing what we teach women in America to do. They're not naturally that way. They have to be trained to those actions and that way of thinking. Trained. Well, I listened to a bunch of nut jobs telling me that that's just the way that women are. They're born that way. They're not. You are not born with a learned behavior. When you are autistic, you are born with autism. You're born with it. It's autism. Tourette syndrome. Again, something that I was born with. Autism and Tourette syndrome are not learned behaviors. And the excuses that you make to harm us, you want all of these things that we come up with. You guys want the stuff that was created by people with actual fucking brains, people who can think for themselves, people who understand the power of imagination. Nikola Tesla told us that the imagination is more important than the math. So did Leonardo da Vinci. So did Albert Einstein. And now, of course, we got this Elon Musk feller. You guys got a long history hating on autistic folks, but you sure like what we make, don't you? Yeah. Swell fellers. Anyway, I can't find my lighter, so I guess I don't need it. I'm gonna go in and see Tom. Hopefully there's no Molly in there. I'll probably be out in just a few minutes to go panhandling. Woo! Go Broncos. Alright. So, hopefully everything is going to stay fine as far as Tom goes. Hopefully she doesn't try to pull any more violent BS with him. But with her trying to convince the cops to bring him back to her camp, that freaks me out, and you know, that pipe is freaking me out too. I don't remember picking it up. He was wondering if it was something that we had picked up over at the park over there. Nope. He took a look at it and he was like, nope, that's not it. That's not what I picked up over there. Alright. Do the right thing, even if it leads to your death. I take saving lives very seriously. I take human life very seriously. Seems to me I'm the only one. Let's hope that everything works out for Tom. Let's hope everything works out for me. She tried to have him committed. As if he was the one that was completely out of his fucking gourd. No, she's taking advantage of an at-risk adult. Just because he's not delusional and not demented, that doesn't mean that he's not still at risk. Also, the guy's got a lot of gumption. Ain't no doubt. Wanting to get a bicycle at 80 years old to pedal into the mountains to his camp and back. That's, I'm trying to remember the proper term for that. That's tenacious as fuck. That's the best way to describe it. Anyway, the officer last night was going to come by and give me a wake-up call this morning. I don't know if he did or not. I do know that asking Tom questions when he's half asleep is a bad idea. But it's a bad idea for the same reason that asking me questions when I'm half asleep just ain't a good idea. My older brother used to wait until I was asleep to ask for things, and then he'd tell me I told him yes. I didn't have any recollection of it because he was asking me while I was asleep. My older brother Eric is a dumb son of a bitch, but I love him anyway. Alicia Bollinger, another dumb son of a bitch, but I love her anyway. Maddie Boa, another dumb son of a bitch, but I love her anyway. I just don't have any respect whatsoever for any of them. Just like I have no respect for Molly. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.